Okay, so I already did this. Like, I didn't. How can I already went through and collected almost everything. I still haven't completed the mission that I was supposed to be doing here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing streaming right now. But I will post the clip of me going through here killing everything.
It's small ball with great shooting and 5-out attack. The ability to spread you out, go 5 out. You run a little high pick and roll, but you have everybody out on the perimeter. And you run that against Jokic, which is big ball, wolf ball. And what is going to work? Denver and their high-powered offense.
Enemy loitering over there.
Against the team that goes 5 out. 5 out is so it really is.
Bring it anytime.
If you can get 5 guys on the perimeter and run that split pick and roll, it's so hard to guard. When the Brooklyn Nets traded Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, I think a lot of people thought their season's over down the stretch. I think their chances of evaporation probably are over, almost certainly. But what they have is maybe a greatest collection of players, some guards, but primarily
I really don't want to fall here.
On the other end, they can play small, but so they actually put together a first lineup that's absolutely Claxton with Jokic. This should be almost a perfect Jokic ball over there. A bunch of wings who shoot and defend and have a high basketball IQ and high build for the game. Very high IQ. And they're all, no guards. The guards are has the size of the actual backfield. And they have Steph Curry as the guard, and they have Patty Mills as playing. They have Steph Curry as the guard, and he's the only guy who's like more of a guard than a wing. The rest of the guys on the roster are basically wings. And then when you go to the centers, they have Nick Claxton, who again is more of a wing. Like you saw this in the first half, a little bit on Jokic. He's very versatile. He can switch, and uses length and mobile and all these different things. I actually like Nick Claxton a lot. But you see a true center, not in the traditional sense. And when he goes up against Joel Embiid or Jokic or one of these, Sabonis, whatever, he gets absolutely alive inside because those guys very, very good against most.
You have to take whatever you can use.
Big, but against the true big, he's just too little. So they got a bunch of wings, not a lot of guards, not a lot of centers. Well, Denver has the center, a true traditional center. They've got lots of guards, and they play lots of guards, and they don't have a lot of wings. So it's kind of a perfect version of the Denver Nuggets in a lot of different ways.
Everything's the same color. I'm afraid I'll get confused.
Let's get into some of the notebook notes. Murray was off to start this game. I thought Denver had some really good looks early, and he just missed a lot of them. I'm worried about him. We'll talk about him a little bit more, but his health, since coming back from injury, he's got a couple good games, but if you watch him during the season, he's got an enormous ice pack on his left knee. Before it was the right knee, now he's got it back on the left knee. And he just doesn't look very healthy. He winces all the time. He doesn't get by anybody. He got the ball stolen. He had to hit Claxton one time out on an island. He doesn't get by. In fact, he turned it over. Claxton got the steal on him in one-on-one. So it was tough. But Michael Porter Jr. in this game was on fire. I'm going to talk a lot about Michael Porter. He's at the center of a lot of the things today. And today, I think, was possibly a watershed day between Michael Malone and Michael Porter Jr. I'll tell you the side I fall on that one after rewatching the game. By the way, I went back and rewatched the game, which I'm kind of glad I did. I'm glad I got to be able to kind of take a breath, go back and rewatch everything. I feel a lot more confident. But Michael Porter tonight was on fire, and he was much more comfortable than I've seen him in a long time, maybe all season. He's getting more and more comfortable with one dribble pull-up. So if he pulls out hard, one dribble, he gets finishes. He had another poster dunk tonight, and 2 games in a row. Michael Porter couldn't dunk the ball earlier this season. I did a video on this on Twitter. He couldn't get to the rim and finish. 2 games in a row now, he's had a poster dunk. That's such a good sign of his growing athleticism.
Not budging, is it? He can return later.
It's the coming off of pin down, one dribble, get to the foul line and shoot. He's doing that with more confidence than we've seen in a long time, maybe ever at the NBA level. He seems to have a green light, although we'll find out if he continues to feel that way. I thought Michael Porter offensively in this game did some things that made you think this is where he started beyond just the like product shooter, this is whatever. Starting to go to where you're like, oh, that's right, that's so valuable. Huge overload on Jokic or Murray or whatever. And you have this guy who's also good for your working Flacco came into the game for the first time since February 28th. He's been out. He comes in and airballs right away. He had a rough night. I mean, he only played in the first end, didn't get a second one, and I think it was the right call. He was rusty. But more importantly, I don't think Michael keeps arriving at the worst possible combinations of lineups. And this is the most concerning thing for me personally as I'm watching the Nuggets over there really since the trade deadline. Flacco, Chanchar, and Jeff Green are both power forwards. Neither one is a center. Neither one is a small forward. Neither one of them is a great shooter. Neither one of them is a great rebounder. They kind of have this tweener thing going where if you have one of them with the right foot, say like Chanchar and Green, and you put Michael Porter at the floor, now you have like four spaces for rebound, by the way. You have Flacco, Chanchar on play maybe more, and you have Flacco, Chanchar out there. I feel like they rather than get two different spots, you get the same
Okay, bro. I missed.
In this second quarter, first and second quarter, this first second unit stint, the Nuggets were running pick and rolls, and Brooklyn was just switching everything because they want to switch 1 through 5. They're looking at this going, we don't care if Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith, any of these guys, we don't care if they're guarding Murray or Jackson or Brown or Flacco or Jeff Green. We'll switch all of that. So Denver's offense is running these actions. They have a lineup out there that wouldn't work even in a team that couldn't switch and had to fight through. It would still be a rough sell. But instead, you're just getting switches if Denver was completely stuck in the mud. It was horrible. On the other end, you have Claxton, who was too big for Jeff Green. He had a post up to shoot. He's like too long, shoots right over him. And then Denver's guards were too small for their wings. This is where Mikal Bridges started to catch fire. He's shooting over the shallow closeouts of a Reggie Jackson or a Bruce Brown. These guys, he doesn't even see them out on the perimeter so that he was able to go into his shooting motion. Dorian Finney-Smith was also on fire in this game. He's not a guy that shoots as well as he did tonight too often. But tonight, he was hot. 5 to 7 from 3 overall, and he had some early on. And then in this period, just to kind of highlight where you have a team of wings versus a team of guards and bigs, just one outlier example of how this becomes so difficult. Denver had 2 flagrant fouls and 1 called on them in that second period. The first one was, I believe, Jeff Green. What was Flacco and one was Jeff Green? I don't remember which was the first and which was the second. First one, three-pointer, made, close out, get too close to the landing zone. They review it as a flagrant. So it's 3 shots, or 3 points, a free throw, 4 points, and another possession. A couple minutes later, it's only like a minute and a half or 2 minutes later, you get another one. I think the second one was Jeff Green. It was a 2-point shot from Steph Curry. Made, free throw, and the ball.
Son, you got too close to that edge.
An extra possession in that sequence was absolutely crucial. But again, what do you have? Guards and bigs having to switch out on these wings on the perimeter, and you're just getting running in circles. I thought it was absolutely
working
one of those things that I hope the coaching staff looks at and comes to the realization that this, I think, selection bias be staggered by some of the lineups that are coming behind the 8 ball. And more than just something that happened tonight.
Bro.
Most nights never has been over the night. They almost did. By the way, you get a great shooting performance from Brooklyn. You get Jamal Murray, you get a bunch of things go the other way. You get a minus 20 from some of the guys on the bench. But you still have...
Can't go that way, yep.
You still have an opportunity to win it. But why put yourself that far behind the 8 ball? And we'll get into some of the reasons I think Michael Malone is making the decisions that he is and why it's so damning. First, though, I want to tell you guys...
Okay, yeah, I went that way.
I was actually hanging out with a friend today. Shouts to Big T, my buddy Tony Niehaus, who's going to be in studio over at DNVR, I believe, on Tuesday. Professional gambler who's in town for a big TFS event. Prize Picks is a lot like this. What you like is you pick 2 to 6 players, and if they go to score more or less than their prize pick projections, you can win up to 25 times the money of your entry. So rather than going head-to-head with somebody, you just look, it's almost like gambling. You go and you look and you see what the projections are. Yoke's going to score this. So you take that, you take them. So there's no competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections. And try to figure out watch NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PBA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA, esports, NASCAR, tennis, MMA, boxing, disc golf, Euro basketball, cricket, and more. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals. Currently operational in over 30 states plus Canada. So download the PrizePicks apps now or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. You use promo code
Bring it
LOCKED.
anytime.
Deposit $100. PrizePicks will give you $100. Deposit 50. PrizePicks will give you 50. Don't forget that
Something
promo
we
code
can
LOCKED
use?
at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. We'll be right back with more Locked On Nuggets.
It's a big help.
All right, segment 2. We're going over this stuff one at a time, and one thing at a
You've
time.
used a lot of
And
cards. Be
after
careful
that
here.
horrible second,
important
this
things in mind.
is our first stint by the bench.
Nigga.
And then with Seth Curry in that second unit again, John Juan looks at it and goes, you know what, this unit's working, let's leave it out there. Jokic comes in, immediately hunts for Seth Curry, who's too little. They're trying to switch everything, right? They like their switch everything. Seth, I mentioned earlier, was the one guy, not really a wing, he's just a guard. Jokic goes at him 2 times in a row, gets the ball, scores very easily. One with those beautiful spin moves through tight space, and he looked like a guard and got to the rim. And scores easy. John Juan calls a timeout. Puts a switchier lineup back out there. It was a 32-18 run to end the half. It was a masterclass from Nikola Jokic on both ends. One of the best stretches. What's so weird about this game is, if you take the last 7, 8 minutes, whatever it was, 9 minutes of the second quarter, where Jokic comes back in, him and Michael Porter Jr. go 9 of 11 between the two of them in that stretch. Dominant. Michael Porter Jr.'s shot, everything was hitting. Jokic doing whatever he wants, getting the switches. Ball was moving exactly. They had solved what Brooklyn had thrown at them in that moment.
Oh yeah, no, I ain't going in there yet.
In that first half. So you go to the second half. This is where everything changes. To start, the third quarter was actually a good start from Denver. Michael Porter Jr. had 2 buckets right away. First play of the game, he gets a little handoff. He was on fire, and I think Michael Malone coming out of half said, let's see if he's still on fire. We'll run him off the desk, double stagger. He'll get to his spots, elevate. He's still on fire. He had a fast break. He missed the layup. Michael Porter goes swing up duty, puts it in for a dunk. So he actually had a couple buckets early on. And then Jokic was taking it to Claxton once again. I mean, Claxton, I mentioned this earlier, he's good, but he's not big enough to guard the true centers. Jokic just was bullying him, getting whatever he wanted. 77-71 when Nick Claxton left the game with 9 minutes to go. 77-71, Denver's up 6. What happened was, rather than go to Nerlens Noel, they go small. You get a Dorian Finney-Smith guarding Jokic, you have Royce O'Neal at different times. They just go small and say, it doesn't matter who's guarding Jokic, we're going to hard double him. We're going to pre-double him, and sometimes we're going to hard double him, and we're going to trust our rotations on the backside. Now, Denver typically does a very good job of this, but remember, they're all wings. So for starters, you're already doubling with lane, and you're covering on the backside with great lane. And Brooklyn, by the way, I said this earlier, high IQ team, they run a very interesting and flexible defensive scheme that makes this hard. Like Jokic in this game, I thought actually had a hard time reading the court. Not nearly as hard a time as everybody else, including and especially Aaron Gordon. So when you get Jokic on the block or on the elbow, and they send a double that completely sells out. What I mean by that is they're not trying to soft double and back and forth. They just say as soon as that entry pass goes, sprint over there. Or sometimes even before. I think the most important ones were before Jokic caught the ball, they would send a double over to try to take it away. They never had such a hard time getting in the ball today. Jamal Murray had a hard time with this. Bruce Brown really had a hard time with this. So Denver was struggling with this, but one of the things you have to do, and I actually asked Jokic this after the game, what was one of the things that was so hard? He said, we usually make quicker decisions, but tonight we were slow. If there was one player that I would single out there's not. Actually, everybody was bad at this, but one player who I think is going to be at the center of this for the Nuggets in the playoffs is Aaron Gordon. When he's in the corner, on the opposite side, Jokic is breaking up on the block. When they send the hard double, oftentimes it's this guy or somebody with this guy at secondary help. He has to flash so you have that high-low action. We'll see that today. And when he did make that flash, so there was one time in that third quarter where he just didn't flash, possession gets blown up, Denver doesn't get a good look out of it. Second time he does flash, but then he didn't read the court. He thinks, okay, usually it's like I have a jumper or I throw it over the top for Yoke or whatever. Brooklyn scrambles, and he had to read to find the open guy. There's a wide open guy because of how hard they're selling out, but he didn't read it. And then a little bit later on in that same quarter, he flashes to the foul line and catches it and does one of his like spinning turnaround jumpers from the foul line that was way off. But it's also one of those plays that the defense is glad to give Aaron Gordon the all day. They'll live with that. I thought he did an especially bad job of figuring out how to punish them. And it's important because, and I'll talk about this later on, teams are going to dare Aaron Gordon to make threes. On how to flash and how to get the Denver's offense is because of the nature of these get the ball. Or if you get it to a great level so far that you have to get rid of it right away. And then another thing that happens is the first is but a bunch of just like a guy shot a jumper and he bumped it. Aaron Gordon didn't articulate. And it's a foul, or he gets a hand on the hip for no reason. I thought Denver it's hard enough to guard 5 out. When you just talk about the Yoke,
bro, what the fuck?
Every center has a challenge for 5 out. Adebayo has a hard time with 5 out. Jokic, you're already going to make things tough, but when you're giving them all this extra and not because we're and allow them to get their defense that you can reach, and now you have to go against that set defense that they have. And then on top of that, Jamal Murray has to be years past the last 2 years. Bring it in. Defensive, they say we're going to sell out on Jokic. Players love it. Their job was to attack the floor on the because they said, man, there's that much attention going inside in particular, or the elbows or wherever, and the nails.
Nigga.
Or a three. And oh, by the way,
come on, bro. I swear to God, I hate this shit. That's the last 2, bro.
Jamal Murray, since coming back from injury, just hasn't had a lot of happening stuff. I mean, he was 5 of 17 tonight. One of those was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. So he is just in a rut right now. He came out of the game and did not return, and I think for all Nuggets fans, that's a little bit concerning. Just knowing that he hasn't looked himself in the last few weeks. There's only 4 weeks to the playoffs, and here we are. We'll get to him a little bit later on.
Bro, I hit her. She threw her last back. Didn't throw it back. Alright, game.
You won't find a worse turnover from an NBA caliber point guard. He kind of rolls the ball across the court like 30 feet, and it's intercepted, I think, by Mikal Bridges. It was just one of those ones where Mikal Bridges didn't even have to shoot the gap. He kind of just handed it to him. Lazy, did not read the court very well at all.
Make sure you're good
and it was just in that third quarter, it was 27-10. Denver got outscored in that small ball stretch with Jokic on the court and the other team going small, 27-10. 27 is horrible. That's 9 minutes, by the way. That's not a full quarter. That's 9 minutes. 27 is bad defense. 10 is horrible offense. It was a perfect storm. So fourth quarter, Murray goes out for the rest of the game. And by the way, I want to get to this. In that third quarter, Michael Porter Jr. had 2 plays that I thought were bad. He had 2 of them. I thought Aaron Gordon had 5 or 6. I thought Jamal Murray had 3 or 4. I thought Brown had several. Michael Porter, to me, was by no means the weak link in there. By the way, tonight, if you look at the defensive rating, when Porter was on the court, the Nuggets had a 114.9 defensive rating. Roughly their average on the season. I think it was the 3rd best of anybody that played tonight, behind Christian Brown, and I can't remember who the other one was, but the other person, whoever it was, PCP or something like that, was basically the same. That's not to say he didn't make defensive mistakes, but if you're looking at that corner and you're looking at the whole texture of the game, to me, he was nowhere near the worst impact player, nor was he the worst defensive player, and more important than that, players not all year to you're going to have to find out whether or not you can handle these moments, and whether it comes to the stretch where he does something he doesn't like, to bench him and not get the sample size of looks like in the clutch, not shooting, and at the very least you're going to outrun teams like this. Which, by the way, might be the strategy gives the team like the Phoenix Suns should they match up. You might just have to outscore them and say, you know what, we're not happy with our defense, but we're just going to score a little bit more than them. And that's to get that sample. And then it's still what I hear is great trust for a player who has sacrificed for
bro, why? Okay, bro.
into that again in the first quarter where I talk about my big take
This should be blowing me like, nigga.
The first bench didn't actually work. I think we have this recollection that the bench came in and actually rallied back. The bench came in and actually got
Nigga, what? Where's he at? The fuck am I getting jumped for?
only 39 minutes. It's especially that the Nuggets played him that many minutes and lost at home. He's like 4 minutes. So that's one of the Jokic comes back in and they score back and another great spin, another great
bro, why am I always getting jumped, nigga?
And I thought Denver, some of this is going to bounce your way. I thought Denver shored up their defense, played pretty well. Jokic was giving good effort. Dorian Finney-Smith, that's the guy who did when he tries to draw Jokic out. And he's going to be able to and then scramble on the backside. They try to be
Bro, why am I getting jumped, my nigga? You're fighting one person.
rotate and track numbers against the ball. I thought Denver did a good job of running guys off. They hit shots tonight. And they're a great three-point shooting team. They really do remind me, the team they remind me most of is the Phoenix Suns right now. The Phoenix Suns, to me, present a lot of the same problems that the Brooklyn Nets will, where, yes, they shot a little bit hot tonight. They have so many good three-point shooters that when you're leaving a wide-open guy, like Dorian Finney-Smith is like Torrey Craig to me. Is Torrey Craig always going to go 5 of 7? No. But you're going to double KD, you're going to double Chris Paul, you're going to double Devin Booker, and those guys are going to get okay looks. As long as you're scrambling to make it so that they're not just comfortable, you're still trying to run them off the line. And I thought the fourth quarter Denver did that, and he still knocked them down. Sometimes those are the breaks. Christian Brown's defense on Dinwiddie in the clutch, which I thought was unbelievable. That play where he shadowed him. Dinwiddie's he's a slippery player, man. He's super smart, super quick, and has great touch. He has every type of shot in the book. He's got a floater, he's got a mid-range, he's got a step back. He stuck with him, and then what really stands out to you, Christian Brown is one of the few wings the Denver Nuggets have. He might be the only natural wing, because like some of the other guys are more guard or more this or that. He at 6'7", he dwarfed Dinwiddie, stuck with him, contests with the right hand and then blocks with the left. It was just a really great play that shows you how valuable he can be to this team and how much Denver needs a player like that, just somebody with length to throw out some of these guys. The other note I have down the stretch here, the second to last play, so Denver crawls all the way back. They get that play, Jokic goes down, misses a free throw, makes the other one, they're still down 1. Denver gets the ball, and there's 26 seconds left down 1. Michael Laudrup will play with KCP inbound, and I'm not sure why.
Bring it
So
in.
he brings Michael Porter in the game. West played for like 20 minutes or something. I mean, he came out 5 minutes into the second half and then didn't play into the final 25 seconds. He was as simple as one point. They should have smart, right? Then you have Aaron Gordon on the baseline, okay? And then you have Bruce Brown in the other corner and KCP inbound again. I don't know why he made that decision. I definitely would have swapped them. Throw the ball, because really all you're doing is throwing it to Jokic, trusting that he can clear out space and catch it. He catches it, and because Bruce is in the corner, his man just runs and full-on helps. Jokic shoots a turnaround, sort of like funnel away one thing, puts a very good shot. And actually, he was on the inbound. KCP's guy comes and doubles as well, and you just think, that's the worst. You have two great shooters, put them in each of the corners. You should be able to read the court a little bit better that way. Mike Will didn't do that one. And he misses. He got another chance late from the sideline. That one was more of an E, like 1 second left. All you have time to do is catch and shoot. And he went down. I think takeaways from here, and really what I thought was a great post game that makes me a little bit worried about how this game is moving to sit. First, I want to tell you guys about Built Bars. Every week, kind of like every quarter, we get a new package. March Madness bracket is here. We know you have a favorite bar or pub, and now you're go to builtmarchmadness.com. Your favorite camping bracket. I'm just voting for Churro. Bring it in. Not only that, the hot dog fans will now get a best bar straight to your door.
My nigga, what the
They're all high protein, low sugar. That's right.
Bro, I'm fucking missing my swings, bro.
Question marks that this game presents that I think Denver is going to have to answer for the West. And first of all, let me say this. West are on 3 games. They played great against teams. They played great against us. They played great against the Clippers. And they've all won.
Finally, bro.
I guess that worked out.
They now are tied in the loss column to Philadelphia. So Philadelphia, Boston, Milwaukee.
Got something we can use?
It would be unfortunate to get to a point where you are the underseed of all 3 of those teams. That would be tough. It's not the biggest deal, but it is something. It is the real cost of this 3-game losing streak. But Denver secured that, and I do think there's been a little bit of a lost focus from the Nuggets. And more importantly, it would be great to just win every game going into the playoffs, get some momentum there. I think it's equally as important for the Denver to be tested in ways that are going to matter in the playoffs. In tonight's game, I think Chicago had similar things. I think Toronto had similar things. These games are Denver to kind of like see before you get to the playoffs. You didn't want to get to a playoffs and have this strategy that you had tonight. You didn't want to get that.
So this leads nowhere. So I didn't have to come here.
Good that they're going through this adversity. And also, by the way, as I've mentioned, the fan base right now is in a little bit of a panic mode, like we're not ready for the playoffs. Sometimes it's important for the fan base to go through games like this so you kind of remember, like, all right, take a deep breath. You know, nothing is over till it's over, those things. But I think it's even more important for the team. Jokic in this week, I think, is under more pressure than he's ever been. And the Nuggets are, I think, discovering what it's like to actually be under pressure. The last 2 years haven't been pressure. I mean, Jokic, I don't think has felt pressure in the playoffs, at least not that much. He knew, like, hey, Murray's out. What more can we do? We're just going to go out there and try to give our best. Now there's real expectations. You're a 1 seed. Teams are hunting for you. The MVP conversation, all that stuff. Now the pressure is real, and I think it's nice in some ways, even though it feels suffocating, for these guys to feel that now, so you kind of take a deep breath, and you're more prepared for it when you get into a game 4, a game 5, these games where it really starts to tighten up and you really start to feel the pressure. But here are the question marks that I have that have been presented that I think Denver's going to have to, I would love to see them answer before the playoffs. Number 1, let's start with Aaron Gordon. Teams are going to dare him to shoot the ball. He has not looked confident with his shot, even though he had a great 3 tonight at a key moment when Denver was rolling. When Denver had the momentum, Aaron Gordon took a sidestep 3 with confidence in transition and it went in. And it was part of this big moment where you just felt like Denver was going to win by 30. But when the going gets tough, his shot looks a lot more confident. And teams dare him more and more, like, hey, you're going to stand out of the perimeter. We're fine with that. We're not going to, run out on you, and we're going to be able to use your guy as a strong help side defender. So he needs to read the court quicker when the game bogs down. We've all loved what AG has done with Holy Ball and the high-low stuff with Jokic, and when Denver is in their rhythm, he looks great at reading the court and what he needs to do. When teams are going to a defense that is extreme, trying to deny Jokic, he needs to be one of the guys that takes advantage of that. As I mentioned, reading some of this stuff a lot quicker. I think This defense tonight will probably go to the film room. Jokic after the game said, he needs to read it quicker. I think he'll figure out this one thing, but in the playoffs, it's going to be another thing and another thing. They're going to constantly try to come up with new strategies, and he has to read the court a lot better than what he has been. And then it's not just on the flash, where it's like flash into open space and now go high-low. Some of this is, Aaron Gordon is great because you can't just switch anybody on him. He's too strong. Like, as strong as Mikal Bridges is, or as good as he is as a defender, if you had to guard him on the block there, he's going to hold and he's going to be too big. So some of this is going to be setting up the advantage. If they're going to go over there and I can't get open, I can't flash this or that, set it open so when then everybody scrambles back, I've got the weak link on me and I can grab the offensive rebound or I can pin in and duck in and do those different things. But Aaron Gordon, I think that most of the time in the regular season, that's not how he's going to be guarded in the playoffs. And that is, a team compromises themselves. You've got to be able to punish them. Michael Porter Jr., let's get to the big story for me today. Michael Malone does not trust Michael Porter Jr. This is what this game means to me. Was he perfect? No. Is his defense great? No. But guess what?
Don't run too
Nobody
far
was.
ahead.
Look at the defensive rating on the Nuggets. There was guys with a 200 defensive rating who played as many minutes, if not more, than him tonight. That's absurd. The guys that were on the court tonight that replaced him were absolutely torched. And by the way, Michael Porter was having one of his most efficient games of his career.
We need to check
This
out
wasn't just he had a good game tonight, doing, made a couple shots. He was on pace to have one of the best nights of his career, just on a per-minute basis. He goes 9 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He had 23 points on 12 shots. He plays 34 minutes, he might get a 34, 35-point game, and again, break some of the stuff open. So if he can have that offensive game, and the team collectively could have the defensive game they had, and Michael Malone pulls him off and doesn't put him back in the game, I'm sorry, if I'm Michael Porter Jr., I look at that and I go, what am I supposed to do this year? I've done all the things. I'm a better scorer than what I am on this team, but I sacrifice because the guys that everybody needs to, everybody is sacrificing. To do all of that and to get through this moment, it just makes me think Michael Malone does not trust him. For good reason or not, he just clearly does not. And I worry that this is going to be one of those things that kills his confidence. There was a question he was asked by, I think, Jenna Garcia in the postgame about it. He called Michael Malone out and said, he didn't put me back in the game. Like, he clearly was upset about this, at least according to the reports. I was not in the locker room. I was interviewing Jokic at the time. Some people went to the locker room to get that quote. But you don't have to imagine that this is, in my opinion, if he would have played that would have been a better outcome than what you had, because at least you could point to something and say, look, this is the playoffs, this is what's going to happen, we need you to get better, and in the playoffs you'll have a shorter leash. But in a regular season home game that effectively was beat us to not trust them there is so damning of, how you take care of a player who has sacrificed so much to me that I honestly think Michael Malone owes him an apology for the way he managed it tonight. If I were Michael Malone, I imagine he would have to go to him and say, look, I looked at the tape, I did a really good job with you, and I kind of put too much on you for this one, and even though there were some defensive lapses or decisions you made that weren't great, I should have closed with you because you earned that trust. The fact that he didn't do that. By the way, Bruce Brown has not exactly been a defensive stalwart the last several weeks. Another question for Michael Porter is, can he guard on the foot? He's going to be able to go to this. If you're getting to a Phoenix Suns game 5, and they're spreading you out like this, and he gets switched on to Devin Booker, how does he do? Is he completely cooked? If you remember, I think with the Christmas game, he got cooked so bad that Devin Booker walked to the layup and scored on him when he had him one-on-one. Is he that, or is he improved game by game, a little bit better? Does he get a little bit better? We didn't get to find that out tonight, and I really wish we would have. Jamal Murray, can he punish me for overloading on Jokic? I mentioned this earlier. Do you know what Devin Booker would give to have a team that pre-doubles somebody else on his team? Yes, Kevin Durant is there now. But Jokic is a player that is so big that if two players are going to commit to going on him, do you know how much a player like Devin Booker would love to have that Damian Lillard, even De'Aaron Fox? Like, if you're going to get that many guys, De'Aaron Fox is going to get to the rim and score. The fact that Jamal Murray failed this badly in this game, and really all week, last week they put Alex Caruso on him. He couldn't get open, was trying to break the record. He couldn't get open for three, couldn't get to the rim. He was effectively shut down by a good perimeter defender. can he get the ball to Jokic? I mean, part of what happened tonight is Denver just couldn't get him good angles on passes. They were turning the ball over on entry passes to him, and some of that was Jamal Murray. And then lastly, is he healthy? There's that story of Jamal Murray when he got hurt that, he was in the locker room and he was thinking, Coach, are you guys going to trade me now? Like, are you going to trade him? And, Malone said, of course not. Like, you're our guy. We're going to wait for you to come back. And that was the right call. The Nuggets missed 2 playoffs because he wasn't healthy. Is he not healthy for the 3rd straight run? If you're where you're running mate, the guy who's going to get you over the hump isn't healthy. First 2 years completely out. It happens. ACL injury, it happens. But coming back this year and thinking, is he not healthy again? That's a real concern for me. I would not be surprised if he took a little bit of time off. The Nuggets' next game is in Toronto. That's his hometown. Maybe he plays in that one. But if he plays, I hope that he is building towards health and building towards that quickness. To me, he's lost his explosiveness that he had right before he got hurt. And that's really, really scary with only 4 weeks to go. So big questions surrounding Jamal Murray now. Let's go with Jokic. Can he guard the perimeter?
What's this place?
Tonight, I actually thought Jokic's defense was crazy. I thought he was hard for his center. I thought he was bad. I thought he was many guys in the last couple games.
Nigga, what? Bro, what the? Damn, son. Every time I hit this bitch, bro, you're not hitting nothing.
Overload the maximum amount to open up things for everybody else. And tonight, by the way, I thought Jokic did a good job when he got the ball. When Denver couldn't get him the ball, that's really, so I don't really hold this one against Jokic on the offensive end. But it's still a question that I think we talk about his aggressiveness. I do think there's going to be a game in the playoffs where you can't just count on the open guy in the 3rd, 4th quarter like this entire time. If guys aren't hitting it, he's going to have to be even more aggressive in that double. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, with Michael Malone, can he read the game in real time? I think that Michael Malone, if I ever should give you my honest critique of Michael Malone, I think that there is a battle with coaches between being principled and adjusting to the game. And I think Michael Malone is one of those guys who is so far on the principle scale that he completely loses the forest for the trees in real time. And I think this is part of why Denver has started down 3-1 so many times in their playoffs. They get off to slow starts. Because Michael Malone, I think, is a guy that thinks about the game the way it ought to be, not the way that it is. So tonight with Michael Porter, when he goes to his defensive lineup, Bruce Brown, Reggie out there, and this or that, he's not going out there for logical reasons. He's going out there because I want my defenders out there. We need to get.
Nigga, how do you get over there?
Who I know are going to dive on the floor and this or that. Absolutely insane to me tonight, that decision. Absolutely insane. Michael Porter, the numbers bear it out. The Nuggets were not getting scored on when Michael Porter was on the court the same way when he was off. They were getting scored on way worse. But again, principle versus adjusting to what is happening. And can he calm down? I think that Michael Malone over these last several games has had a panic to him. We talk about the pressure of the season, and it's weird. I do think that Denver is a 1 seed, and with that's what you try to accomplish. But with that comes a weird pressure. I don't want to get into the hot takey thing here because, quite frankly, it doesn't matter what I say. But this is a year where Michael Malone is, I'm not saying on the hot seat, but if they don't perform to the expectations, I do think he gets fired. And I think he knows that. This is the thing about a coach is, hey, you've been around for 7 to 8 years. It's very rare for a coach to stay 8 years and not, get a championship or at least to a final. So he has to know, first round, second round, if it doesn't go to expectation, Jokic is going to get cooked, the organization's going to get cooked, and somebody's going to have to be the first fall guy, and it's almost certainly going to be him. I think he's coached these last handful of games with absolute panic. Absolute panic. One of the reasons you don't go back to Michael Porter Jr. is you're panicking, and you're like, I've got to get my guys out there, I got to get this or that. And then lastly, 3-guard lineups are absolutely terrible. This is the NBA in 2023. Length matters. I've talked about this all year, but length is such an important thing for defense. And when you see teams like Toronto and teams like Brooklyn,
still far off, but I see movement. Looks like they're defending this place.
No harm in being prepared. We need to check out the layout of this place. Pick up something we can use? There has to be something here. Sorry. Moving out. What's this place? Hold on. I'm on my way. Oh, it's open? Pick up something we can use? Bring it any time.
Bro, I just threw her and she didn't die. Okay, bro. Yep. Where's this nigga at? Yo, why is he just chilling right there on the wall, my nigga? The fuck? He literally just chilled on the wall. That whole fight, bro. Alright, game.
Wow. Very good eye. There has to be something here. I'd rather let her find her own business.
I can't
Don't run too far ahead. Lost. In the distance. Your healing doesn't look too good. Don't take any chances. We need to check out the layout of this place. No harm in being prepared. You have to take whatever you can use. Hey, that's... Bring it anytime. Hey, that's... Looks like we've still got a long way to hike. Pick up something we can use? No harm in being prepared.
Sorry. Moving out. Get up. Hold on. I'm on my way. I really don't want to fall here. Pick up something we can use?
How I get over there? That's the question.
I really don't want to fall here.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Sorry. Moving out. Can't beat him. Give him the slip, huh? You've used a lot of heat. Be careful from here on. Huh. That's a good place to rest.
I hope something turns up. You've got to watch your surroundings.
I want evidence that Silva's policy using the dead like that, even to defend humanity from monsters, is a massive violation of ethics. They sent those who'd already tasted death out to die again and again, and if they fell, more were created. Is that not the epitome of inhumanity? Were the living not enough for them? Are the dead nothing more than thralls to the living? No! We still have human rights that must be respected. I want evidence that Silva's policies are a mistake. If you find anything, please let me know.
Greetings. I have a lovely selection today. If you have any materials from the old world, I can give you valuables in exchange.
Damn, we only got two.
Don't hesitate to come back if you need anything. Hey, this is all we've got for available routes. Your life is your greatest asset.
Thanks to everyone's hard work, I can offer new weapons. Take a look if you'd like. Got something to sell? Okay, take care then.
What is it? Is this something necessary? Did you find something? It's so tiny, but it does taste of blood. Everyone's will to survive is condensed into these tiny candies. Thank you. I believe you have provided me with a glimpse of humanity's strength. Things like this are sometimes necessary. Take care.
Thanks again for helping me out.
This makes me feel nostalgic somehow.
You see what you wanted? Let me know if you need me.
Hey. Ooh, there's a fine specimen. I'll add it to my new collection. Are things like this popular? I'm afraid I don't keep up with trends. Satisfied? Your life is your greatest asset.
Hi. Oh, a new game. But I don't... yeah. Thanks. I can probably use this for parts. What do you want to upgrade? Which blood veil do you want to upgrade? Which weapon do you want to transform? Which blood veil do you want to transform?
I've got a whole new line of stock in, thanks to my Herculean efforts. But seriously, you've made my job a whole lot easier. I'm not sure you're cut out for business. Stop by when you're in the neighborhood. Come again soon. Let's get going. A fork in the road. To move on without fighting.
That nigga still hitting my ass. That's all he gave was 1,100.
We'll put that to good use.
Checking your equipment. That's all she wrote. Marvelous.
Three reasons to start an LLC. I'm something that... Let's hear what you got. All right. Police. Wrap it up.
You see that up there too, right?
The fuck? Yeah, I had him at the same time. Street.
You have to use every tool you have, right? I'm on my way.